Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. While the glow of the descending sun colors the top of the leaves in gold, something mysterious and otherworldly sneaks into our reality. It lurks in the darkness, it hides in the hollows of the trees, whispers to us through the rustling of the leaves and susurration of the river. Let's channel this hidden magic into today's video and talk about fairies. I know it's pretty unexpected, but who can blame me for bringing a tiny bit of magic to our too serious adult lives? In today's video, I will show you how I add fairy vibes to my home and garden and talk about the importance of decorating your space with things that are charged with happy memories and bright childhood dreams. We will get inspired by the fairy books, make a lovely journal spread and a few pieces of home decor, organize a fairy tea break, and of course I will paint a door to the fairy kingdom for you. In every forest and every garden, in every grove and every valley, there is a secret door. It may be hiding behind the ivy leaves or in the oak tree hollow. It may look at the rabbit hole or at the creaky door with a copper handle, but don't be tricked by its modest appearance. Once you open it, either accidentally or on purpose, you will find yourself in the enchanted world of fairies and elves. I wrote these words for a short fairy tale years ago, but reading them now I still feel the same excitement. The whole idea of the secret world, existing next to ours, close but not too close, within reach but still untouchable, captivated hearts and minds of many writers, poets and artists, and enchanted all the children and adults who were reading and watching those fairy-inspired books. I loved fairy stories since I was a child, and this love didn't falter with years. Although the stories grew darker, the characters became more cunning and less charming, but their stories are no less captivating. I have my own small collection of fairy books, which includes 4th-season edition of Flower Fairies by Cecily Mary Barker, the luminary of the fairy art. I also have a beautiful edition of A Natural History of Fairies, with lovely illustrations created by Jessica Rue. And of course, my very favorite, Fairies of the Fault Lines, by one and only Iris Campit. Those books didn't just inspire me to create my own fairy characters, they made me realize how important and recreational coming back to the childhood dreams is. And that's the reason why I got an idea to sprinkle my living space with a bit of fairy dust and add some decorational elements reflecting the magic stories and warm summer days of the years long past. I started with arranging fresh flowers, since fairies live only where flowers bloom. Or at least that's what a younger me believed in. I also put a bit of moss and acorn into a tiny bottle and put it on the shelf along with my art materials. And next, I decorated a candle with dry lavender and a green ribbon, because the combination of purple and green always bring the fresh summer vibes. I love making inspirational journal spreads for books that I read. In a way, it helps me to remember the general mood of the book and capture the chapters and quotes that I particularly liked. Today's one I saved for The Flower Fairies of Summer by Cecily Mary Barker. But if you don't have a habit of dedicating your journal spreads to books or movies, you can still use this technique to give a fresh look to your agenda, diary, or a notebook. One of the places where fairies would eagerly live is a garden. I've seen lots of fairy gardens in books and movies and was taken by the idea to make something similar in my own backyard. At the beginning of the summer, I transformed 2 of my flower pots into fairy houses, and I have to say that they truly added some magic to the pleasant atmosphere of our garden. But that's not the only way how we can pretty up the garden space. There are a lot of tiny details that will create the fairy vibes, and some of them can be handcrafted. Another way to add magic to our days is to cook something tasty and share it with our loved ones. I picked a strawberry tiramisu recipe because it indeed looks like it's been created for a fairy party, and organized a magical tea break in the garden for my husband and myself, which we don't do very often, and that's another reason why such moments are even more precious. And after a lovely day filled with fairy tales from our childhood, make yourself a cup of flower tea, sit back, and let me create a door to the fairy kingdom for you. I'm wishing you a lovely day and hope to see you soon again.